designer saw a new woman. She didn't want to follow all the rules. You know, she wanted to be a little bit more unique.
The hair today at Chloé it's kind of very sleek down and framing the face, and then also showing the ears. This girl, since she's a little bit on the rebellious side, she wants to go against what's normal, so we're showing ears.
It's an exciting time for the House of Chloé. I mean, there's a new designer. There's a new breath of fresh air here.
Chloé is usually, people think of it as, you know, kind of really feminine and girly, and he wants to kind of, I guess, make his mark.
The whole atmosphere here is based on the studio where we work and where we have the fittings. And we have the mirrors, and we have the playing floor, and we have lots of sunlight.
I think it's going to be a rebellious sign for the Chloé girl, but still giving her all the things she loves. The perfect dress, the perfect coat, the perfect jacket, and the great accessory of the season.
This is Paulo and Melim Andersson's first collection for the House of Chloé, and there's been a lot of speculation as to exactly how he will follow in the footsteps of Phoebe Philo, because she made such a success of designing for girls just like herself. But it does pay to remember that the House of Chloé is 55 years old, and there have been a lot of designers through this store. That was a very brave move. Chloé has a very, very strong identity, femininity, romance. A very brave step away from it towards a much more sort of hard-edged modernity.
The brand's 55 years old, so why is it still here? Because constantly there were new people who gave a new interpretation.
Were you surprised by this interpretation?
No, I had seen it already.
When you first saw it, were you surprised?
No, because when I hired him, I knew what it was about.
Would the customer that the House of Chloé already has feel alienated by that collection?
Well, I think the current Chloé customer is ready for a challenge. She's ready to move on.
And ultimately, did she even know who Phoebe was anyway?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. On all of these brands, without an identifiable designer name, do they know who's designing?
They care who's designing.
I don't think they care. Basically, you want to look good, you want to feel great in whatever you're putting on, and that's why you go back to a brand.
I like the Chloé woman. And there's been different designers, but I'm trying to make something that corresponds to my idea of the Chloé woman.
Strong, I suppose, heavily Marnie-influenced statement.
You said it. We want to see a new vision of Chloé. I want to see feminine. I mean, in my mind, I think way back, we have had many creative directors for Chloé. So, his new aesthetic is very Marnie. Obviously, next season, though, we'll have to take a look at what Marnie is versus Chloé.
He took it from a very retro feeling, sort of a 70s feeling that it was last season, and he sort of gave it a more modern edge.
Boy, those pops of color are what you remember. You remember that orange. You remember the green, the colors that were in there.
It's also interesting. They're not really winter collection colors. We would associate those more as spring. So it's very clever, the use of color here. I mean, the positive, negative prints. But to me, it was really a show about silhouette.
I think that Chloé's always meant the same thing for a young, nonchalant, confident, chic girl.
I thought you made it harder, though. I thought you toughened it up.
I wanted to be confident.
What about those boots?
The boots, I think there's going to definitely be a girl who's going to want to put those on. They're sort of tough, but sporty at the same time. They reminded me a little, obviously, of the Doc Marten boots from back in the day.
I think some guys are going to want those boots as well.
Maybe you're right.